Boom. What is going on, everybody? My name is Tyler. You guys know me. This is my friend Chris. Chris is awesome. Hello, Chris. He's got a Dragon Ball Z shirt on. He's feeling
Hey,
Super Saiyan today. And Chris and I have been working together since April of last year, at the beginning of like the quarantine, you could say. And so it's been 8 or 9 months, and he's gotten some awesome results. We kind of went through a weight loss phase, building muscle phase. I'm not going to ruin it all, but he's here to talk about his results in the program. And so without further ado, this is Chris. So Chris, why don't you tell everybody that's watching, like, what kind of stuff were you doing before you met me, and like, what's your life like? Because I think you live a pretty interesting life. And yeah, I'll let you go ahead.
yeah. I've been a nurse for I think 7 or 8 years now, 8, 9 years. And so I have my 3 12-hour shifts. And it's been nights, evenings, days, every shift you could think of. And I had gotten to a point at one point where I weighed 245 pounds about. And I kind of was like, that's my limit. Like, I'm done. I can't continue to do this. And I moved back home. I ended up getting a trainer at that point, and he kind of showed me the basics. I hustled in, got my nutrition, improved my nutrition, and to a point where I was in a range of like 1,800 calories, going to the gym anywhere from like 3 to 5 days a week, work permitted, and was just consistent. And that was a couple of years, but then I kept on getting like plateau after plateau after plateau, and I'd change, and then I'd have like a huge plateau for like almost a year. And then when I hit you up, I had hit kind of my highest in a good while because of the pandemic, and that was despite still trying to run and not eat atrociously, or what I thought wasn't atrociously.
Right.
I was up to 167 at the beginning, but despite, again, almost daily runnings, and just, it wasn't just, I needed a revamp at that point. So I had a decent foundation, but definitely needed like some really good tuning.
Right. Yeah. You by the time I had met you, you'd already lost all that weight. You'd gone through like a massive weight loss transformation. And we always talk about like the last, it was like 10% you were hoping to get to, like that last 10%. And we kind of worked, and I believe we're inching our way closer. We're centimeters away.
Yeah.
So Chris was at 167, got down to 152.6 was our lowest at one point. Now we're kind of building up. But what do you think the strategies have been, or that we're using now, that have helped you the most?
The definite fluidity in the plan to accommodate the constantly changing factors of my life, whether it be working 3 to 4 shifts per week, different hours in the day, different exhaustion levels. And then just saying like, hey, I've kind of noticed past couple of weeks, like this hasn't been working, or like this intake hasn't been working, or this macro ratio hasn't been working, or my shoulder has been bothering me, or my groin is bothering, my knee is bothering, whatever. And that like almost like instant change has been really beneficial, that constant feedback. And I think a major thing for me is, although, and I still abide by this, calorie in, calorie out, you can't argue it. It's a solid concept. But the, analysis of my FitnessPal and being like, dude, what are you eating? What are you doing? That you can't do that.
What is this food item on here? What?
Yeah.
Who's JP?
Hummus, that's chocolate. The hummus doesn't make it great. It's still chocolate. So that,
never seen that before in my life before I saw that on yours. I didn't even know that.
Pretty good for it being hummus. But that accountability factor has been the biggest thing, which again, I don't think anybody can really argue it. Having that accountability, regardless whether it's your workouts or your nutrition, you're going to have huge improvements.
Yeah. I think, you said a lot, and that's all very true. You know what works, and with some of the things that I've seen in my fitness, probably we've had to make some adjustments. And I remember when you first got in the program, we had this awesome body weight, like workout plan. I was excited. I was like, how'd it go? And you're like, I didn't do
Right.
it. I didn't do it. And
Yeah,
you didn't want
right.
to do it because of your neighbors or somebody. So I made adjustments, like still didn't do it. You were doing some running. We made a lot of changes. And,
Right.
being a travel nurse, you were in Boston, I believe, when you were in California, then back in Boston, then back to California. And so you changed a lot of settings, and then we were even in the gym at one point, and now you're kind of, working with the gym that you have because your gym shut down, I believe. So there's just a lot of changes. And
Right.
I think that was the biggest thing that we've had to do with you, is make a lot of changes pretty quick, because they've happened pretty quick given the state of things right now. But at the end of the day, we made it work. So what have been your results, like the highlights that you feel that we've gotten since we've been working together?
And so I'll start with the physical. I was 167. We got down to like 151, 52. I mean, I think that alone kind of speaks volumes. Hands down, the lowest body fat percentage. My abs are popping out. I don't know that I've ever had a time in my life that I've had abs, so that is a thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think I've kind of been able to work on certain areas that previously were inhibited, or implement new workouts that would target areas that I would probably avoid otherwise. As far as the physical aspects, as far as everything else, I just feel so much better. My nutrition is so much better. I feel healthier. Um, I feel like having this sense of control of what I'm eating now at this point, um, and the ease of it all, where it's just like I've done it for so long that I can plan a day on the fly, don't have to think about it, and like know that I'm going to be good with my nutrition. Is great. And then just the like my own reaction to myself, and being able to like wear what I want, do what I want, go where I want. I mean, I was in a Speedo when I moved out to California on the gay beach. So it's great. Like I think that is the major thing where now that I look back, I'm like, oh, I could do that because I've done this.
Right.
So that's been awesome.
I think that's been one of the biggest things that I've noticed about you, is that you've been a lot more comfortable in certain, like being in different settings, wearing like the Speedo and going out and showing off like without a shirt, and being in areas because you're like, everybody out here's got abs. Like I need to get abs. And we got to that point, and it's amazing to see. And I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks.
You've been doing great. So I'm happy for you. And I guess the last question I'd ask is, what would you tell somebody who's on the fence, who's watching this, maybe followed me for a little bit? You're like, I don't know about that Tyler guy. He's kind of sketchy. I don't know. Like, what would you tell them?
Just do it. Stop being over. Just do it. I've said this for a while now. I think a lot of people spend a lot of money on frivolous things.
Right.
I think there's many ways to distract yourself. Netflix is always going to be there. Your watering hole, a town over, a street over, down the street, whatever, is always going to be there. But I think there's a huge, I think you can say a lot about dedicating time, effort, and finances to yourself in a matter that is going to affect you in the long term, versus a single conversation that's going to last 30 seconds. Be like, hey, did you see that episode of like the new Sabrina, or did you listen to that new album? Like, okay, great. But like in a year, are you going to remember the new episode? Because I know I don't, and I have to recap the series. So I think these are like long-term effects that affect you in so many different ways, and that it's important. Um, and from a nurse standpoint, my blood pressure's dropped um, from when I was at my heaviest, but I was like 130s, 140s systolic down to like 110s. My resting heart rate is lower, decreased pain. So many different effects on my body have I noticed by working out and eating right, and fueling my body in a way that it should be fueled instead of ingesting crap. It's a no-brainer. for me. I would rather spend the money, the time, and the effort in doing this than many, 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 many other things.
Right, right. Well, I appreciate you saying those things. And Chris, as you guys can tell, Chris is a character, man. I enjoy working with Chris, and he he tells it like it is, and very honestly, truthfully, like you have been, man, you've been awesome to work with, and it's never like if ever we go off the path, you're always admitting to it, and you're like, and if anything, you've told me to be harder on you. He said,
Yeah,
need a little bit more of a kick in the butt, and I feel like I've tried my best to do that for you, and the results have shown. So, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate you. If you guys are watching this, Chris is the man, and that's it. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Chris, and yeah, guys, I'll see you guys later.
Gonna do this, that, you guys. I'll see you.